Hey folks, we've been looking at double-aught buckshot lately. Here we have some more. This is Winchester SuperX buckshot. This is the 2 3/4 inch 12 gauge version of their double-aught load, which has 9 pellets of double-aughts moving at 1,325 feet per second. We'll be shooting a 5-shot group with this buckshot out of their Remington 870. This is a super magnum, which means it has a 3.5 inch chamber. It has a 28 inch barrel. And the end up here, we have the rim modified choke, which is a 710 choke. We'll be shooting at 30 yards at a 12 inch bullseye target to see what kind of pattern we got out of this buckshot. All right, so here we have shot number 1 with our Winchester SuperX 9 pellet double-aughts. Let's shoot this thing and see how it patterns. We'll be shooting a 5-shot group from 30 yards, like usual. I'm gonna hold the same sight picture for each shot, and we're gonna see what the total grouping is of this thing. All right, we're gonna sticker them. Shot number 2 with the Winchester double-aughts. All right, we'll sticker them. All right, here's shot number 3 with the Winchester SuperX's, the 9 pellet double-aughts. All right, we'll sticker those. Here's shot number 4 with the Winchester SuperX's out of our Remington 870 with the modified choke in it. All right, let's sticker this one, and then we'll shoot the last shot, and then we'll go down here and talk about this target. All right, so we've shot their first 4 shots. Here's our last shot with the Winchester SuperX. So far, we're looking like we got a pretty good pattern in load and shotgun choke combination. Hopefully we don't ruin it on the last shot. Let's see. Before we go down to the target, let's look at the shell breakdown for these Winchester SuperX buckshot. The box claims 9 double-aught buck pellets, and we open the shell up. What do we find? We find 9 very healthy 32 caliber, almost 33 caliber projectiles. They weigh 49 grains each, and they have a lead hardness on the Burnell scale of about 15. That's pretty hard. They're packed in a white buffer. And we find the projectiles and buffer in this end of the wad. We have a crush zone down here. A little bit of a gas seal down here. This particular type of wad you'll find in a lot of Olin Corporation buckshot loads. Winchester ammo is made by Olin Corporation. We find a disc powder. We could weigh that and find the charge, but it does us no good because we don't know what kind of disc powder this is. Now let's look at the shell. The hull itself, let's check out the writing. We see SuperX, we see 2 3/4 inch. We can't read what that says. It probably says double-aught, but I don't know. I can't read it. 9 pellets and 70 millimeter on the side here. Look at the head stamp. Winchester 12 gauge. Now it is important to be able to read your shells. Olin Corporation needs to do a better job This has come right out of the box and we can't read this shell. Just think about what it's going to look like in a day or two in your pocket when you're hunting. You'll have no idea what's in this shell. So they could do better. Let's look at the box. Winchester boxes are always pretty good. I like Winchester boxes. On the front here, Winchester SuperX. We have our specifications for the shell down there at the bottom. We have a deer and a hog on the front to let us know the intended purpose for this load. On this side, we have some legalese. On this side, we have some more legalese. And also says 5 cartridges down there. On this side over here, though, we have the specs again. So we can store this sitting on a shelf like this, or we can store it setting up like this, and we'll still be able to read both sides. Plus, we can store it sitting like this on the shelf, because we see the specifications here on this end, the top end here. And then on the back here, we have Winchester Buckshot, a little bit about SuperX, ammunition. We have Olin's address down at the bottom left. We have the product code over the barcode. We have a shell cutaway on the back to show us what we're supposed to find in our shell, and that's what we found. We found that we have truth in advertising with this particular box. So there's a look at the shell breakdown for the Winchester SuperX double-aught buckshot loads. Let's go down there and look at the target and see how these things performed. So here we have the target that we shot with the Winchester SuperX buckshot. If you remember, this is a 2 3/4 inch 12 gauge load. It has 9 pellets of double-aught in them, and they're moving at 1,325 feet per second according to the box. So we shot a total payload of 45 pellets down through here. 9 times 5 is a 5-shot group, is 45. We have 50% of that total payload in the 8-inch circle. We have 3/4, 75% of the total payload in the 12-inch circle, and we have over 80% on the 12x12 target. These Winchester SuperXs and that Remington 870 with that modified 710 choke in it, this is a good combination. I like this. This is the kind of load, or this is the kind of results that I want to see with a shotgun when we're talking about hunting deer. A single double-aught, yeah, it'll probably kill a little doe, maybe even a big doe, and a small buck. But when you're talking about a big buck with muscles, a single pellet of a double-aught isn't the way to go. You're liable to spend all night looking for that deer. But you hit him with a load like this, and he's not going to go far. That's the kind of buckshot pattern I like to see for deer hunting. So I think I'll be using some of these Winchester SuperXs this hunting season. And I actually have a couple of 2 3/4 inch chambered 12 gauges that we might come back and visit with these particular loads and see how they perform in that. But until then, y'all stay safe in the deer woods, and God bless. That's some good smelling shotgun powder there.